Welcome back to another game of On-Base Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp, and I'm the designer and creator of On-Base. On-Base is a it's a sabermetrically driven tabletop baseball game, and playing it with the game engine chart here, and not cards. So the game might look a little bit more ethereal, maybe not quite as visceral as some other tabletop baseball games, but by using the chart and the new roster sheets, we can actually extend and expand the game quite a bit more than with the cards. I'm not abandoning cards. I'm just trying to expand the game, trying to expand the options of what's available to play throughout the history of baseball. So in this game, I'm going to be playing a game between the 93 Atlanta Braves, and they're going to be at San Francisco, so Candlestick Park in 1993. And we're going to be using the On-Base 1990s game engine chart. This is a modified version of the 2019 chart, 2021 chart. And so it's contextualized for the 1990s style of play, which is actually not too far off from what we would consider to be modern baseball now. So let me go through the starting lineups. This is the 93 Braves. It'll be Otis Nixon in center, Jeff Blauser at short, David Justice playing right, Ron Gant playing left, Pendleton playing third base, Sid Bream at first, Mark Lemke at second, Damon Berryhill catching, and then Tom Glavin will be the pitcher on the mound. Glavin with a 401 FIP. He can go 28 batters. And for the Giants, the home team Giants, it's going to be Willie McGee in right, Barry Bonds in left, Matt Williams at third, Robbie Thompson at second, Will Clark at first, Royce Clayton playing short, very young Royce Clayton, and he's 23 years old this year. Kurt Manwaring catching, Darren Lewis, also very young, playing center, and then John Burkett, who actually, I believe he was a 20-game winner in that season. Had a really good year. Had some good years with the Rangers too, I believe. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Again, this 93 Braves at the 93 San Francisco Giants. So Burkett has a 341 FIP in 1993, so he'll be pitching out of the first column. Tom Glavin will be pitching out of the second column. So Burkett is going to be facing Nixon, Blauser, and Justice to begin the game. Burkett, a right-hander. Here's a 3-6 and a 3-6 to Otis Nixon, who's a -11, is going to be a fly out, so that's a fly ball. Sort of slapped down the left field line by Nixon. Bonds comes in and makes a play, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. This will be a 5-6 to Blauser is going to be a strikeout here, and that's going to be a strikeout looking. So Burkett gets his first K of the day, second out of the inning, and it's going to be Dave Justice up. This will be a fly ball. 1-6 is 1-6 across the board is going to be a fly ball or a fly out with an opportunity to advance any runners on base. So that's going to be a fly out to Bonds again in left center field, and so that's going to be 3 up, 3 down for the Braves in the top of the first. Go to the bottom of the first inning. Glavin is going to be facing off against McGee, Bonds, and Matt Williams. So here's a 2-6. A 2-6 to McGee is going to be, he's a 2. So it's going to be here with a ground out to the shortstop. Blauser up with it over to first, and that's the first out of the inning. Here's a 3-6 to Barry Bonds. I have Bonds hitting in the 2 hole now. So a 3-6 is going to be a long single. Bonds' speed is only a 5, so he's going to stop at first base. On a long single, if your speed is 6 or more, you can stretch that into a hustle double. Maddie Williams, third baseman, he gets a 3-4. And a 3-4 here is going to be a home run chance or a strikeout. If it's 5 or more, it's a 26, yeah. So it's a home run, 1 to 5, or 1 to 4, and then a K, 5 to 9. Our D9 roll is a 6, so that's going to be a strikeout for Matt Williams. Second out of the inning. Barry Bonds still at first base. And Robbie Thompson up, a 1-4 to Thompson is going to be a single, solid single. And that's a single right up the middle. Bonds with 2 outs is going to take third. And that's going to bring up Will Clark, first baseman. So the roll is a 2-4, and Clark is a 13, so that's going to be a strikeout with 2 outs. So Glavin gets the K to shut down the threat with runners on the corners, and no one scores. So we go to the top of the second inning, still tied, 0-0, as Burkett is going to face off against Ron Gant, Terry Pendleton, and Sid Bream. Sort of the heart of the order here for Atlanta. There's a 1-2 from Burkett, and a 1-2 to Gant, who is a 20. There's going to be a ground out. If anyone were on base, he would have been able to advance the runners on the ground out, but no one's on base. Here's a 2-6 to Pendleton. Pendleton here is a -11, so it's going to be a ground out to second base again. Thompson takes care of that. And it's Bream, 1-4 to Bream. He is a -1, so that's going to be a walk. So Bream at first base, not very fleet. He only has a 3 speed, and that brings up the Limmer, Mark Lemke. And it's a 1-2, and Lemke is a -15, so be a ground out. So Thompson at third base makes all 3 outs in the inning. Braves come away with the 0, and we go to the bottom of the second. Still nothing. Braves at the Giants. Here's Glavin against Royce Clayton, shortstop Royce Clayton. That's a 4-5. Clayton is a -4. So that's going to be a long single, and Clayton does not have great speed. He's just a 4, so he's going to stop at first base. So runner at first, and Kurt Manwaring is up. That's a 1-3 to Manwaring. He is a -6, and so that's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. We're going to assume the out at second base, so he goes 6-4, and then we'll roll against Manwaring's 2 speed, and he does beat it out. So that's going to go, I think I said 6-4, right? I think that was 6-4. We'll call it 6-4. So shortstop to second for the force out. It's going to be the first out of the inning. And we're going to move on to Darren Lewis, a very young Darren Lewis. I think he was 25. Here's a 2-6 to Lewis. It's a -18, so all the way to the end. And a 2-6 is going to be a ground out to back to the shortstop. So again, we're going to assume that out at second base. So we go 6-4. Lewis is an 8. He's going to be really tough to double up. So another 6-4 fielder's choice. Let's go ahead and try to steal. Maybe we can steal a run here. His steal number is an 8, so anything 1 to 8 is going to be a good for a stolen base. So he's in there easily. So runner at second base with John Burkett up. 1-6 to Burkett. That's going to be a fly ball down the right field line. And coming on is David Justice, and he makes the play right at the line, and that's going to be the third out of the inning. So the Giants are able to get a runner to second base, but can't push them through. And so we go to the top of the third inning. Still no score between the 93 Braves and the 93 Giants. Burkett's going to be facing the bottom of the order. Barry Hill catching, Glavin pitching, and then back to Otis Nixon at the top of the order. Barry Hill's a -10. So 46 to a -10 is going to be a fly out, and that's going to be to center field. Again, on the D9 for a fly out, anything 1 to 3 is left, 4, 5, 6 is center, 7, 8, 9 is going to be to right field. Next up is Tom Glavin. A 56 to a -11 is going to be a strikeout, and that's going to be a strikeout swinging. So second out of the inning. Burkett really cruising here in this game. He's given up 1 walk, and that's his only blemish so far. Go back to the top of the order. It's going to be Otis Nixon. A 3-4 to Nixon, who is a -11, is going to be a single with a plus, which is an error check. So he singles to left center. We'll do the error check on Barry Bonds. No error for Bonds as he fields it cleanly, but puts Otis Nixon at first. With 2 outs, going to try and steal. His steal number is a 7. Oh, he's just in there, just ahead of the tag. And so he steals second base. So that basically means anything 1 to 7 is going to be a good steal. 8 or 9, he would have been thrown out. You know, anyone with the, it's like a 77% chance of making it. So a 1 out of 9 chance. So that's a pretty good percentage. That's actually higher than the major league average, even right now, but definitely higher than it was back then. So if your guy is a 6 or a 7, I would say he's a good candidate to try to steal a base. Anything above 7, definitely. Jeff Blauser, shortstop for the Braves. He has 24 batting runs back then, 93. There's a 5-6 and a 5-6 to a 24 is going to be a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. So Burkett gets another strikeout. Strands the runner at second base. Braves can't bring him in, and we are still scoreless as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Up for the Giants is going to be the top of the order, McGee, Bonds, and Williams against Tommy Glavin. A 5-5 to a 2 is going to be a line out or a foul out if it's a 6, 7, 8, or 9. So if it's greater than that, it's a 9. So it's going to be a foul out. Let's see where he fouls it out to. He fouls it down the right field line. Justice into foul territory is going to make that play. So we'll say foul out to 9. Is that right? That's not right. That's to the left fielder. 7. We'll call it 7. So with that, we're just going to use all the positions on the field. Foul outs are kind of a new thing, so you can play that by ear as you want. A 2-6. 2-6 to Bonds. So there's nothing here for the pitcher, and a 2-6 to Bonds is going to be a single with an error check. So that's a solid single to left. No error on the play as Ronnie Gant makes a play. Bonds at first is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Here's a 3-3 to Maddie Williams, and a 3-3. Tom Glavin's pitching out of this column, so there's nothing there for the 3-3. And Matt Williams is here. He's at a 26 batting runs, so the 3-3 is going to be here for a double. So now runners are going to be at second and third as the double pushes Bonds to third base. Second, third with 1 out, so first really good opportunity for the Giants here as Robbie Thompson comes to the plate. There's a 2-6. 2-6 to Thompson. It's going to be a single with a plus, and that's to the right fielder, Justice. And that's going to be an error on Justice as he mishandles the single. And so everybody's going to move up a base. So it's going to be a single with an E9. And that's going to score the run from second, and it's going to score the run from third. So big error there. And it's going to be a 1 RBI and then 1 runner getting home on the E9. So the run from third scores. Doesn't matter about the error. The run from second only scored because of the error. So we're going to give Thompson 1 RBI on that. That's a single. with an error, and we still wind up with the runner at second base, only one out. So defense faltering a little bit for the Braves. Will Clark up. There's a 2-6 to a 13. That's going to be another single with another error check, and this time it's to left center. And Gant is up with it. Thompson had to hold, so he wasn't able to score, and so he's going to be at third base. So runners at the corners with only one out. Braves looking for a double play. Here's a 1-5 to a -4. That's going to be a single. So a rough inning for Tom, as that's an RBI single. Brings in the runner from third. That's Robbie Thompson. And the runner at first moves up to second. So first and second base. 3 runs already in the inning. Here's a 3-5 to Manwaring, who is a -6. So that's going to be here. That's a double play or a strikeout. So we're going to go with the double play. It's going to be a 4-6-3. And that's going to end the inning. As go Lemke to Blauser to Sid Bream to get the last 2 outs of the inning, but not before the Giants put 3 on the board, as they take a 3-0 lead, and we are headed to the top of the 4th inning. So again, just to recap that last inning, it was a single by Bonds, a double by Matt Williams, a single by Robbie Thompson, brought in Bonds, and there was an error on the play, so an E9 on the play, which brought home Williams and sent Robbie Thompson to second base. Will Clark singled, which put runners at the corners. Royce Clayton singled, which brought home Robbie Thompson, and then Manwaring hits into an inning-ending double play. So a little bit of a snake-bitten inning there by Tom Glavin. He gives up only one earned run, but 3 runs total. Okay, Burkett against the heart of the Braves order, Justice Gant and Terry Pendleton. Be a 4-6 to Justice. Justice is a he's in this 21 batting runs that year, and so 4-6 would be a line out or a pop out. It's gonna be a line out to the right fielder, so he hits it hard down the line, and the right fielder McGee comes in and makes the play right on the line. Here's trouble. This is a 2-2, and that's going to go to Gant. A 2-2 to Gant is going to be a double or triple. Triple if it's an 8 or 9. It's not, it's a double. So Ron Gant cruises into second base as he drills one to the gap. 1 out now with the runner at second base and Terry Pendleton up. Here's a 3-6 to Pendleton, who is a -11. Is going to be a fly out to left field. Gant's going to stay at second base. And a 2-6 to Bream, who is a -1. That's going to be a ground out to the second baseman. Thompson up with it over to Clark. And that's going to be the end of the inning. So the Braves get a double but can't capitalize, and they're still scoreless. Giants lead 3-0 going into the bottom of the 4th inning. We're going to stick with Tom Glavin for now. If he continues to get roughed up, we'll have to take him out. But Bobby believes in him, wants to get deep in the game with him if he can. So there's a 5-6, and that's to Lewis, who's a -18. So that's a good comeback for Glavin as he strikes out Darren Lewis. Pitcher Burkett up now. There's a 2-2 to Burkett. 2-2 to a -13 is going to be a double or a triple. And Burkett reaches out, laces one to the gap for 2. Defense wasn't expecting that. And so now we have a runner at second with Willie McGee to the plate. That's a 2-3, and Willie McGee is batting out of this third column. That's going to be a ground out to to the second baseman and a ground out with an error check. So we'll check Lemke. Lemke makes the play, and so he's going to go 4-3. On the put out, that'll be the second out of the inning, and it does move the runner over to third base. So runner at third and two down. Here's a 2-6 to Barry Bonds, and that's going to be another single for Bonds. Bonds is 3 for 3 now on the day with 3 singles, and it's an error check, so it's to the shortstop. I'm sorry. It was to the center fielder, not the shortstop, because it's a single. But regardless, no error on the play, as Nixon fields it cleanly. But that's going to be an RBI single for Barry Bonds as he knocks in the pitcher from third base. So manufactured a run there, and that makes the score 4-0 now, Giants over the Braves. I always want to say Robbie Thompson. Maddie Williams. That's a 5-6. 5-6 to Williams, who is a 26, is going to be a strikeout. So Glavin gets his man. And that's the third out of the inning. So a 0 there. I'm sorry. They did get it. They did score a run. So they pick up a run on Bonds' RBI single. So I head to the top of the 5th inning, and it's going to be the bottom of the order for the Braves up. It's Lemke, Damon Berryhill, and Tom Glavin. May or may not be a good time to pinch hit. Glavin's at 21 batters. He could still keep going theoretically and try to push for another inning. We'll see. We'll see where they wind up on the bases. Okay, Burkett is a -15. Burkett is a 1-4 to Lemke, who is a -15, and that's going to be a ground out back to the pitcher, and there's an error check on the play. So Burkett goes ahead and makes a play to first base, or it's early in the morning. Damon Berryhill up now. 2-3 to Berryhill. Berryhill's a -10, so that's going to be a walk to the catcher. We're going to let Tommy hit for himself. Hopefully he doesn't hit into a double play. That's a 1-4 to a -11, and that's going to be a ground out with an error check. So ground out to the second baseman. Let's do the error check. Possible error. Second baseman is Robbie Thompson. He's a plus fielder, so no error on the play. So he makes the play. We're going to assume the out at second base. That's a fielder's choice. And we roll against Tom Glavin's number. He has one opportunity, and he beats it out. So the slow roller to second base, and Tom Glavin beats it out at first. And so that's going to be a 4-6 fielder's choice. And that turns the lineup over. So Otis Nixon to the plate. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. And that'll be the third out of the inning. So Braves can't get anything going, get a runner on base. And that seems to be the name of the game for them today. John Burkett pitching very well in this game against the Braves. Going to leave Tommy Baseball out there. Let's see what happens with the heart of the order. It's Thompson, Clark, and Royce Clayton up. So a 1-5 to Robbie Thompson. He is in the second column here. It's to be a ground out to the shortstop. And that'll be out number 1. Will Clark up. Clark hit a single in his last at bat. Not going to get a single here. It's going to be a ground out, I believe. A 2-3 here is going to be a ground out with an error check. So that's back to Glavin, and Glavin throws it away. And Clark is going to be on with an E1. It's a little bit of sloppy baseball here for the Braves, as they have 2 errors already in the game. Brings up Royce Clayton, a 2-4 to Clayton. He is a -4, and a 2-4 to Clayton is going to be a double play or a strikeout, just what the doctor ordered for Tommy Glavin. So he comes back and gets the 4-6-3 double play. So that kills the threat for the Giants as they go down in the 5th inning. It's still 4-0. San Francisco over Atlanta, and we're headed to the top of the 6th inning. Up in the 6th, it's going to be Blauser, Justice, and Gant, so the top hitters for the Braves. See if they're able to make any hay against John Burkett. That's a 1-2. A 1-2 to a 24 is going to be a ground out to the catcher. So it rolls up the third base line. Manwaring jumps out, makes the play. David Justice, he hits a fly ball to right center field. Deep but playable for the right fielder, and that's McGee over to make the catch. And then Ronnie Gant, he's up with a 1-1. Again, he's facing Burkett out of this inning, or this column. And so Burkett has not reached his limit of batters yet, so he's still pitching out of this first column. And that's going to be a strikeout. So, been a bit of a strikeout drought for Burkett. He hasn't had one for a few innings, but he gets one there to end the Atlanta 6th. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Giants still on top of the Braves, 4-0. Glavin is still on the mound, going out for the 6th inning. We'll see how that goes. He's at 24 batters. He can go 28, so he's still pitching out of here, out of this column. 4-5 to a -6. That's going to be here. A long single for Manwaring. He's going to stop at first base. Brings up Darren Lewis. A 1-3 to Lewis. Lewis is a -18, so that's all the way over here. It's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. We assume that force out at second base. So it goes 6-4 to 3. They have one shot to get him at first base, and they just nicked him. So 6-4-3. Tough man to double up, but they were able to double him up. So it goes Blauser to Lemke to Bream, and that's 2 down, nobody on. John Burkett to the plate, a 1-4 to Burkett. He is a -13, and that's going to be a ground out to the catcher, and no error on the play. So it goes 2-3 on the put out, and the Braves get out of the inning. So we go to the top of the 7th inning. It is 4-0. This is the 93 Braves at the 93 Giants. And in this inning, it's going to be Terry Pendleton, Sid Bream, and the Limmer, Mark Lemke, against John Burkett, who's pitching very well. He's at 22 batters. He can go 28. So I don't think he's going to be able to finish this game off, but they got Rod Beck in the bullpen there. If he can get it to Beck, he had 48 saves that year. I think that's right. So that was one of those really good Rod Beck years. Here's Pendleton. Pendleton is a -11, and it's a 1-3. And so that's going to be a ground out here to the second baseman. For the first out of the inning, Pendleton is 0-for-3 on the day. A 2-3 to Sid Bream. Bream is a -1. So a 2-3 to a -1 is going to be a ground out with an error check. So that's a ground out to second. We'll check on Thompson. Thompson's able to field it cleanly, and he goes 4-3 on the put out. They're making a lot of plays for the Giants today. 2-5 to a -15. This is Mark Lemke. So a 2-5 is going to be a fly out with an error check. That's to the right fielder, McGee. McGee is able to handle it, and so he squeezes it, puts it away. And the Braves go down 1-2-3 in the 7th. So Burkett pitching very well for the Giants. He's at 25 batters, so he's got one more inning. He's still pitching out of this column here, so it's definitely possible he could complete the game. We still have Tommy Glavin out on the mound. He is at 27 batters right now, so he can go out one more inning pitching from this column here. So Bobby wants to stretch him out and see how this goes. It's going to be Willie McGee. McGee is a 2 batting runs, so 1-5 to a 2 is going to be a single. So McGee's on with a single. Not a lot of speed there, only a 3. But Barry Bonds to the plate. There's a 2-5 to Bonds. Bonds is, of course, in this first column. That'll be a fly out to deep center field. But Otis Nixon is there to chase it down, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. Willie McGee stays at first base. There's a 2-6 from to Matt Williams. So a 2-6 to Williams. He's here. That's going to be a single with an error check, so a single to left. See about Ron Gant. Gant is able to pick it up cleanly. And the runner McGee moves to second base. So runners at first and second now. Glavin desperately needs a double play. Looks like he's going to get a strikeout here. He does. And that was a much needed out for Tom Glavin. Got one more guy to get through. It's Will Clark with a sweet swing. And Clark is a 13. That's a 2-4 roll. And that's a double play or a strikeout. And Glavin goes back-to-back with the strikeouts to basically end his day. But he does get the Braves into the 8th inning as he goes 7 strong, gives up 4 runs. Only, I think only 2 of those are earned. So, but it doesn't negate the fact that they're still down 4-0. So this is a 93 Braves at the Giants. Giants take a 4-0 lead going into the top of the 8th inning. Burkett is at 25 batters. His stamina is 28, so he's still pitching one more inning out of this column. And let's see what he can do here in the 8th inning. He is going to be facing bottom of the order. It's going to be Damon Berryhill and then Tommy Glavin. And we may even get a pinch hitter here. Not sure, but let me just check my screen over here. Javi Lopez is available. For Damon Berryhill. Let's see who they have available. Greg Olson was another catcher that year. Javi Lopez only played in 8 games. I don't think he would be available. So it would be Greg Olson. And let's see about Olson. Is he better than a -10? He is a -12 batting run, so that doesn't give them any sort of advantage. So we'll just leave Berryhill in there, and then we got to bring in a pinch hitter for Tommy Glavin. So let's let Berryhill hit against John Burkett. There's a 3-4 to Berryhill and a 3-4 to a -10. It's going to be a single with a plus, so it's going to be an error check. And the single goes to right field, and that's going to be an error on Willie McGee. So maybe the beginning of a rally here for the Braves as Berryhill gets on with an E9. And let me find a pinch hitter for Tommy Glavin. Okay, the pinch hitter is going to be Neon Deion Sanders. I don't know if anybody remembers Sanders played for the Braves. He was actually a very good player. I've seen some people talk about him, and they said that he could have been an all-star type baseball player. He was really good. He had a 276 average, 773 OPS. His speed is an 8. He stole 19 bases in 1993. He had a really good year. Ultimately, he chose a Hall of Fame football career. How could you fault him for that? But he was an excellent baseball player as well. So Sanders is up. He's going to be in for Glavin, and that'll end Glavin's day at 7 innings pitched. And so it's going to be Sanders against John Burkett. There's a 2-4. 2-4 to a 0 is going to be, should be a strikeout. It is, and Burkett gets another K as he has just been rolling, and that's the first out of the inning. Still a runner on first base. Berryhill got on via an error by the right fielder Willie McGee. Otis Nixon to the plate. Nixon is 1 for 3. There's a 3-5, and a 3-5 to a -11 is going to be a double play or a strikeout. So that's going to be back to the pitcher as Burkett goes 1 to 6 to 3, and that gets the Giants out of the inning. So a big play there. as the Giants double up a very fast Otis Nixon, and they get out of the 8th inning. So Burkett goes 8, and a really good effort from John Burkett. Really good effort. So we need to bring in a new pitcher for the Braves. So we have someone new, and let me find that pitcher. All right, the new pitcher for the Braves is going to be Steve Bedrosian, the veteran. Had a great year. 3.67 FIP, a 1.63 ERA in 49 appearances at 35 years old. So had a really good year for the Braves in 1993. He'll be facing off against Clayton, Kurt Manwaring, and Darren Lewis. Here's a 1-6. That's going to be a fly out straightaway left. And Gant is there to make the catch, and that's going to be out number 1. Here's a 1-1 to Kurt Manwaring. Bedrosian's pitching out of this second column here, not the first. And so that's going to be maybe some trouble. Let's see. Manwaring is a -6. So that's going to be here. That's going to be a single for the catcher. He's on with his second hit of the day. And 1 out with Darren Lewis at the plate. Here's a 2-5 to Lewis. He's a -18. So a 2-5 is going to be a fly out with an error check. So that's down the line. The fielder is Ronnie Gant, and he sprints over to the line and he makes the play right on the line. Runner will not advance from first base. He's a 2 batting runs, and we're going to get a pinch hitter for here for the Giants, as they're going to bring in Rod Beck into the 9th inning, and so let's get a pinch hitter for the Giants. Okay, so the Giants bring in Mark Carrion. He's got a 9 batting runs in 1993, so a nice option to have off the bench. I contemplated starting him in the place of Lewis in center field, but ultimately he's not a good fielder. -9 on his defense, so better to have that defensive option out there with Lewis, even though his batting runs was quite a bit less. There's enough pop in the lineup that you don't have to make that choice. And again, it's going to be Rod Beck coming in for the 9th inning, but we got Carrion pinch hitting here against Steve Bedrosian. 2 outs in the inning, runner at first base, and there's a 4-6. A 4-6 to a 9 is going to be a double play or a strikeout with 2 outs. It's going to be a K, and Bedrosian gets Mark Carrion for the final out of the inning. So a good inning of relief there from Mark Bedrosian. And we go to the top of the 9th inning. Like I said, it's going to be Rod Beck. And let me get Beck's numbers real fast. Rod Beck, a 3.23 ERA, so he'll be pitching out of that first column. He's a big right-handed reliever. 2.16 ERA in 79 innings. He had 48 saves, 57 Ks and 20 walks. Oh, I'm sorry. 86 strikeouts in 79 innings, only 13 walks for the year. So 27, almost 28% strikeout rate to a 4% walk rate. So excellent pitcher. One of his better years, 1993, was for the Giants. So he's going to be facing off against the heart of the order. It's going to be Jeff Blauser, Dave Justice, and Ron Gant. So let's see how he handles this top of the Braves order. There's a 3-5. A 3-5 to a 24 is going to be a strikeout. So Beck gets first out of the inning, he gets a strikeout, and now he's facing off against David Justice. Justice, same result. So 2 Ks in a row. As Beck gets him swinging on the high cheese. And last chance for the Braves is Ron Gant. That's a 4-6. 4-6 to a 20 is going to be a line out or a pop up. And it's going to be a line out. So he hits it hard, but he hits it right at the second baseman, Thompson. Thompson gloves it for the 3rd out of the inning, and that's your ball game. So Rod Beck comes in and seals a really nice win for John Burkett. As like I said, Burkett Burkett was 22-7 with a 3.65 ERA in 1993 and 34 starts. So not uncharacteristic, even though maybe you haven't heard much about John Burkett's name in a long time. He had a really good year that season. So Glavin takes the loss. Burkett gets the win. I don't think you can't give Beckett the save on that. It's a 4-0 win for the Giants, but I just wanted to make sure that the lead didn't get out of hand. And let me go back with the totals, and I'll come right back. All right, so we're back with the totals here. It's going to be Atlanta goes down 4-0 to the Giants. The Giants are Atlanta with no runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. San Francisco with 4 runs, 14 hits, and 1 error. So the Braves did a lot of getting out of jams. There's a lot of rolling up double plays and groundouts. You can see here, nothing really notable for the Braves. Gant had a double. Otis Nixon had a single, but really nothing happening for the Braves. John Burkett, 8 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 5 Ks. Definitely player of the game. Tommy Glavin, 7 innings, 13 hits, only 4 runs allowed though. No walks and 6 Ks. Steve Bedrosian came in, pitched well. Rob Beck came in, he was lights out. And for the Giants, notable for the Giants, Bonds, 3 for 4 with a run and an RBI. Robbie Thompson, 2 for 4. Matt Williams, 2 for 4 with a double. And Royce Clayton was 2 for 4 as well with an RBI. Even the pitcher Burkett got in with a double and a run scored. So a lot of hits, a lot of strikeouts to be had over here, not many walks. And you can see there's a lot of activity, especially through these middle innings, as lots of people got on base. This was sort of the key inning, gave up the 3 runs. And it was just really kind of small ball, just hits here and there, knocking people in. There was an error, so 2 of these 2 runs were unearned. And this was an earned run over here with the Bond single. But he was a pitch away from getting out of that inning and getting away from that run as well. So really good game using on base baseball. This is the 1990s decade roster sheets. Again, these will be available probably this weekend. I might play one more game, I'm not sure, but everything looks fine from what I can see. I'm also using the 1990s game engine chart, which has been reconfigured based off of actual pitchers and actual hitters within these columns. So this should reflect the 1990s style of play. And if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear them. Please leave them down in the comments section below. Just take a minute to give it a thumbs up for the video if you like it, if you like this content. What the thumbs up does is it helps the Google algorithm to determine, hey, this is good content, I'm going to keep showing it to people. So the more people see this, the more they get a chance to experience both on-base baseball and tabletop baseball gaming. So whenever you're watching videos of any YouTubers, if you like the content, if it's good, if you want to help promote that particular person or channel, just click the thumbs up. It's really easy. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, click subscribe. If you click the little bell notification too, the bell icon, then you'll get notifications every time a new video is uploaded. You'll see there's probably 2 or 3 just this week on the channel here. I'm trying to do more uploading of games, and especially as I'm creating these new game engine charts and decade roster sheet sets that we show the games that are going. So hopefully it gives everyone a good chance to see how to play on base. You can see right here on our score sheet that all of our values. So we have the player position, but we also have the batting runs value, the defense, and the speed, the player speed value. So I'm essentially just playing right off of the score sheet. I don't need to have to flip through the roster sheets. I'm just using them as a reference to set up the game. All right. Well, that's it. Player of the game, John Burkett. Had a really good game. Pitching for the Giants. Great year that year. And it was reflected in this game as the Giants shut out the Braves 4-0. And that is On Base Baseball. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.